What is up, guys? Welcome. Crypto FUD. And let's jump right into this. Didn't work. What's going on, Owen? Rodney, what's going on, guys? How's everybody doing today? Sorry, I was getting everything set up with the chat. It's not going to work. Well, let's jump right into this, guys. So, we're not going to have a too long of a stream today, but we are going to be running, so let's do it. I have my tea right next to me. Cheers to everybody. Lutz, what's going on, guys? So let's just jump right into it because we don't have a lot of time. So what the hell is going on with the markets today? Well, if you guys caught the live yesterday, we called it. I said I honestly think that there's going to be more pain in the market, and that's exactly what we've seen today, right? We're going to go over a couple articles on what exactly is going on or what we think's going on, and when is this going to stop? Is this going to continue? Let's jump right into it, guys. So real quick, before we even start, make sure you guys slap those likes. Make sure you guys, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. And think about becoming a member if you haven't already. Let's get right into this. So, Solana. I wanted to jump into Solana first. Solana has been absolutely beat down today. You can see we did drop down to a support level that we've had mapped out at $128. That was earlier this morning, early in the morning while I was still asleep. Did not catch that bottom. But you can see we are forming somewhat of a W pattern, or it was forming a W pattern, but it looks like it has been somewhat rejected. You can see as we made our way back up, bouncing off this 200-day moving average. This isn't our 200-day SMA moving average. This is our actual 200-day moving average. And you can see that we bounced, basically running up, hitting our head on the 138 at the top of this second run. And I was going to say this looks like we might be playing out for some kind of a move towards the upside, most likely being a short-term kind of move, but you can see it already was rejected. So let me see something real quick. Is my everything good with the audio? Let me check. Let me put the headset on real quick. Yep, we're good to go. All right, so Solana, it's kind of, altcoins in general have been absolutely getting decimated for today, for the last few days. Yesterday, I even called it. I said, it looks like the altcoins are really taking a beating versus Bitcoin. Obviously, we're seeing Bitcoin retracing as well, but altcoins are really looking terrible. And if we look at the dominance. Remember yesterday I called this out and I said, wow, Bitcoin's dominance has continued to move up. And even today, we're almost literally at 55% Bitcoin dominance. That right there is telling me that a lot of people are doing two things. They're either selling off and they're sitting on the sidelines, and I mean selling off of both Bitcoin and altcoins, or you're seeing a lot of people selling off of altcoins and converting over to Bitcoin right now. And the reason why you're thinking, why the hell are they doing that? Well, whenever there is big sell-offs in the market, right? We're going to go through this. It's going to be ups and downs. But whenever there's big sell-offs in the market, you're usually going to see a lot of people jump ship on the first thing that they're going to jump out of is meme coins. Meme coins are going to be the first to take a hit. Then you're going to have your other alts like Solana, your bigger alts, they're going to start getting hit as well. And a lot of people are going to be either, like I said, converting over to USDC, Tether, sitting on the sidelines, or they're going to be jumping into Bitcoin, a more secure asset, and kind of trying to buy the dips. So let me check something real quick. Just check my emojis real quick to see if everything's working. The chat seems very quiet today. What's going on, guys? You know what it is I didn't go in the Discord and announce that we were going live. That's what it is. That is what it is. But let's just continue where we were at. So with that being said, Bitcoin dropped down to $64,000, pretty much even earlier today. You can see it's basically bounced twice off of that move. Right here coming this morning, like I said, we saw a big drop on Bitcoin, made it down to about 64,040. Same thing happened, 64,040 again. Double drop right there. So what do I think is going on? What do I think is going to happen here as we continue to move? To be honest, guys, I'm going to be completely frank with you. I've been saying this since yesterday, since we've really started to see this kind of we've been moving down for the last week or two, but really seeing this narrative in the market, how the market's looking, and how we keep getting rejected at certain levels. I personally think that we are going to see a little bit more pain in the market as of now. I really do think we're going to see it. But me personally, I'm not upset about it because I honestly am looking at a lot of things right now and I'm like, all right, I'm going to start accumulating certain projects. And we're going to cover this in our members only stream this weekend coming up. Some plays that I'm looking at that I'm definitely going to be buying in. A lot of plays that I actually sold off on when I accumulated during the bear market, and I sold when we shot up like crazy probably about 6 or 8 months ago. Now a lot of these projects that I did sell on, they're back to my buy zones. And we're going to cover that on the members only stream this weekend. So make sure if you guys are able to and you see that join button, slap that join, all right? Now let's check out our crypto bubbles for today. You guys can see for the day to be expected completely in the red. There's actually, since earlier when I loaded the screen, this was completely in a sea of red. You can actually see that there is a little bit of green. Ondo looks like Ethereum name service, and we have Lido that's actually in the green, but not too much, right? You can see majority of the whole market, this is the top 100, are all down roughly about 10%. Some are up, or some are down a little bit more, some are down a little bit less, but you can see on an average, we're looking at around 10% for all projects across the board. So definitely does not look good whatsoever. Let's jump into, let's see here. Let's jump into some articles real quick. Let's see. All right, so you can see, so spot Bitcoin ETFs continue to see massive outflows post FOMC meeting. And this is pretty much what we're seeing right now, is that every day that when the numbers come out, we're seeing massive sell-offs with their ETFs. And then obviously retails are selling off as well. Right now, like I told you guys, I don't think that we're going to be crashing down to the 40s or anything like that. But us naturally moving down to maybe 50, 59, 59 so far has been an area that we've held strong. So us dropping down to that $59,000 level, I'm not too, I'm not really too concerned if we drop down to that. A lot of times that can be a good move, right? And real quick, going back, I just want to see that 59 level is something that we have actually dropped down to. Let's see here. So we broke below the 59 now that I can see. Let me bring you guys back over here. Sorry, I have multiple screens going. But you guys can see, since we've had some of these big drops, what's crazy and what's different is that this drop just feels different, right? You guys remember, we go back like a month or two ago, and we were doing the same thing where we were chopping down, right? And Bitcoin finally found a bottom at around 56,009, about 56,700. But for whatever reason now, it just feels different. It feels like there's going to be more pain in the market for right now. And I feel like until we get to some of these certain levels, and I mean certain levels like breaking 60,000, coming down to maybe down to the 59s, I don't think that we're going to see any kind of a retracement going towards the upside. Now, I could be completely wrong. Tomorrow we could wake up and the markets are right back up to 70,000 and we could just get back to business, right? That's crypto. But I want to just prepare you guys because I see how the Discord is. I see how other YouTubers, not just the YouTubers, but I'm looking at the chats and I'm seeing everybody. They're like basically like, this is it. I give up. I can never win in crypto. And I'm like, I'm not saying anything, but at the same time, I'm like, dude, this happens in crypto, right? You have to embrace it. You have to take advantage of these dips and you have to be holding for long term, right? Or like myself, I actually, I would say probably 85% of my funds, as far as like my positions, I actually caught a lot of the tops and sold off. So I'm in a position right now where the market's moving down. I'm not upset about it. I dare to say happy, because I know a lot of people's portfolios are in the red, but me personally, I'm not upset about it, because now I'm in the position to where I'm just like a kid in the candy shop, where I'm like, all right, I'm looking at all these projects and I'm like, wow, this certain project got down to these levels. This other project's down to these. It's like I'm like literally watering at the mouth, ready to jump on some of these projects that are looking very, the price wise, looking decent, right? So, I know not everybody did the same thing that I'm doing, and you guys are holding long term, so you're down on your positions. I understand. I don't think what you're doing is necessarily wrong whatsoever. We all trade differently. What I can say is that as long as you're using funds that you don't need anytime soon, and you have time behind yourself, I think long term you're going to be perfectly fine. So keep your head up. Don't sit there and it's all over and sell at a loss, because like I said, today we're down, tomorrow we're going to be up, right? Not necessarily like that, but that's how it always seems to work. So jumping back into this article real quick, let's see here. So it says, so the U.S. listed spot Bitcoin Bitcoin exchange traded funds ETFs have experienced significant outflows, with a total net flow of $726 million since the Federal Open Market Committee FOMC meeting, which was just last week, not even a week ago. We've seen almost $1 billion of outflows just in Bitcoin, right? So spot Bitcoin ETFs have seen 146 million on June 17th alone, which was yesterday. We saw $150 million in outflows just yesterday on the ETFs for Bitcoin. Leading this trend were Fidelity's Bitcoin ETFs, often seen as a major player in the ETFs market, experienced $92 million in outflows. ARK Invest next generated internet ETFs saw about 50 million in outflows. This marks a continuation of a broader trend. The FOMC meeting impact and context. So this recent wave of outflows comes in the wake of the latest FOMC meeting, signaling investors' reactions to a broader economic signals and monetary policy adjustments. The FOMC meeting on June the 11th outcome saw the federal funds rate unchanged at the range of about 5.25% to 5.5%. This decision aligns with the Fed's ongoing strategy to combat inflation, which while showing signs of improvement, remain above the target level of 2%. Latest spot Bitcoin ETF outflows suggest a growing caution among investors, potentially spurring by the central bank stance on interest rates. So again, what are we seeing here is we're seeing that a lot of investors, particularly not us crypto diehards, but a lot of these ETFs, the stock market money, which like we're seeing $150 million. It's millions, right? Or is it saying billion? Yeah, millions. I was like, if it was billions, that would be insane. But $150 million and on daily basis as far as outflows. They're not even talking about inflows, because it's probably been so minute that it's just overweighing. Obviously, with the prices coming down, the outflows are outweighing inflows as of now, right? But like I've told you guys, and like we covered on a lot of the streams in the past few weeks, the CPI reports, the unemployment, all that stuff has actually been coming in our favor. It's been coming in our favor. But I told you guys, when Jerome Powell came out, it was going to be all about his wordage. And when he came out, he was so hawkish. He was so hawkish, and I think he was a little bit over hawkish. And for whatever reason, what's crazy is that if we look at the crypto market versus the actual stock market, you guys can see crypto's all in the red for today, right? Crypto's all in the red, but if you look at the actual stock market, the SPX, the NASDAQ, Dow Jones, they're all in the greens, and some of them are making all-time highs. Why is it crypto? Well, a lot of people, especially in the stock market, are looking at crypto as still a very high risk-on asset. Almost like how we look in the crypto space, we look at meme coins as a high-end risk asset. You're seeing that with the stock market people, the ETFs, I call them ETF traders, because I know nobody in our chat, nobody in our community is holding ETFs, because if we're going to buy Bitcoin, we're going to buy it even when Ethereum, it gets traded live on ETFs. We're going to be buying the actual coins, right? We're going to be holding the actual coins instead of actually buying ETFs. So all this ETFs and the people that are buying ETFs, that's stock market. That's your old school money. That's pulling out because you're still very wary on the crypto market, and it doesn't take much. All it takes is you guys know this, right? You see, a day where we're down a few percent. That's all it takes for these people to get a little bit spooked on top of what Jerome Powell's saying. And they basically are looking to cut the fat on their investments. And the first thing they're going to do is look for the riskier assets. In this case, they're looking at Bitcoin being the riskier asset. That's pretty much what I'm getting to as far as why the stock market, particularly is not doing terrible, but you have blood in the streets for crypto. Because when you really think about it, for crypto, we have been having nothing but bullishness as far as the news. I mean, we have our ETFs, right? We just got done with the halving. We have Ethereum on the brink of having an ETF approved, or probably multiple ETFs approved. Why is crypto particularly so bearish right now, right? Why is it so bearish? Like I said, I personally think that we're going to have a little bit more pain in the market until we can get to certain levels. With Bitcoin particularly, I'm not going to turn, short-term bullish, right? I still am going to be short-term bearish, and you guys can see the trend right now. As of now, Bitcoin is not even getting anywhere near the trend. As of now, you can see that we're kind of struggling. We did have a breakout in the last few hours. Obviously, they knew we were going live. That's the crypto FUD effect. We did have a breakout, but you can see that we are hovering around a pivotal spot that we need to hold as some support. If not, most likely, if we come back down and we're testing the 64,000 area again, we're most likely going to start breaking back down, and we're going to continue this move down. And the next level that I have as some solid support, there might be little pockets in between, but the next big spot that I have as some support is going to be down to 61,600. So, hey Gina, how are you doing today? Where in the hell is everybody at today? What's going on? What's so funny is I was looking at other people's streams, like George and a couple other people that usually have like thousands of people, and their streams are all like, there's like half the people that are normally there. And this always happens whenever crypto gets into a spot where it's like, people don't even want to talk about crypto. They don't even want to look at their portfolios. You can see that they don't want to talk about crypto anymore, right? So they're like, I'm not pulling up any streams. I'm not even going to bring up crypto right now, and I'm just going to wait for it all to end, right? Let's see here. So, what's going on, Goober? Mr. Steal Your Girl. Not at all, bro. Not at all. Those days are over with. Khalil said, in the future, the majority of people will be saying they wish they bought more. It's so funny, and I don't know if you're trolling or not, Khalil, because I always say that. I'm always like, dude, do that. Because I know we have girls. I'm always saying that. I'm like, listen, there's gonna be a point in time where you're gonna look back, especially on times like this, right? If we can remember, because when you really zoom out on the market, or whenever you zoom out on these charts. When you zoom out of these charts, it's like you don't even remember half these dips, right? You don't even remember half these dips. They're just basically a little speck on the chart that we won't even remember anymore, right? But I mean, like I said, there's going to be a point where we look back and you're just going to look at it at the whole and you're going to be like, I should have bought more, right? This could be 6 months down the road when Bitcoin's at $100,000 or whatever the case may be, right? If it's not until 2025, who freaking knows? I told you guys this from for the last like few months since we were approaching up the halving. I was like, bro, this time around is very odd, and a lot of us that have been around during these 4-year cycles are all scratching our head like, what in the hell is going on? And it's because we made all-time highs before the halving, right? We were seeing moves towards the downside when we should be very bullish. Obviously we have the economic numbers that are coming out that are doing a lot of this fluctuations on the markets for us, but we're just at a spot right now for Bitcoin that I don't think we have actually been before. You can go back and try to make sense on some of the previous charts. Like I see some people going back and looking at 2020 saying, look, we might actually be back in 2020 right now, something like that playing out. And let's actually look at that to see if they have any sense with that. But a lot of people are saying, like, listen, these charts feel like we're back in 2020. 2019 we had a run. 2020 we kind of broke down before we went on a run. I really don't agree with that. I don't agree with the 2020 kind of analysis. I really do think that we're just in this freaking like weird time for crypto that like a lot of us, or probably any of us that have been in crypto, can't explain. It's just one of those times where you just really can't explain, but you got to just fall back on what works, right? DCAing, just looking long term and only using money that you don't need anytime soon. I already tell you guys, the emotional investors, and I completely understand. I've been there, right? I see it in the Discord. Like I said, I saw a couple people down and out, just really like, man, I'm down like crazy in all my crypto, and I feel terrible, right? I just feel terrible. But at the same time, you got to hear me out. If you don't need that money, don't sell at a loss. I'm telling you, because that's going to be the worst feeling when you sell at a loss and you look back. If it's 6 months down the road, even if it's a year down the road, and the markets are completely going crazy, rallying, and you basically sold at that loss and you're buying back in now while the markets are running up again. Don't be those investors. Don't be those investors, all right? Troy said NFK to the moon. Goober said, bro, I bet you took dudes' girlfriends back in the day. I bet you was the side dude to many ladies. Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. Yes, I did do that. I'm not even going to lie. I'm just kidding. Nah. Bro, we're not even going to get into the whole relationship stuff, but I've always been the type person where it's just like, there's so many people out there in this world, like so many girls, that it's like, if you were dating like a friend or anything like that, I just wouldn't look at you like that for the most part. Right? There's some of them you just like, whew. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding, guys. So let's look at a couple charts, and then we're going to look at DeFi and see what the hell's going on. But I want to focus on, so this week for our members only stream, we're going to be focusing on plays. Now, if the market is still in the spot that we're in right now where we're coming down, I'm going to show you guys plays that I'm going to be buying in on, or that I might have already bought in on. I want to be very transparent. So we actually opened up the Discord back up. So I'm going to post in the chat the Discord link. If you guys haven't already, make sure you guys join that Discord. I'm sure majority of everybody that's in here is already in the Discord. We had to obviously shut it down for temporary reasons, just because we were getting a lot of spammers and just a bunch of crap. You know how Telegram and Discord is. It's like you can sit there and try to like filter everybody out, but at the same time, it's like people just, even bots, they'll come in and they're like, hey, how are you doing? And you're like, is this a real person or what? And then you see them posting stuff on the Discord. You're like, bro, what are you doing right now? So, but yeah, we're definitely going to be talking about some plays that I'm going to be looking at that I've been licking my chops. No diddy. Honestly, like, bro, I want to jump in on this, but I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait and see if the markets play itself out. So look, let's bring up Milady, and this is going to be something that's going to be a common denominator for a majority of the projects. You guys remember looking at Solana, look where we bounced, the 200-day moving average. We pull up Milady, same thing, 200-day moving average. We're literally bouncing off the 200-day moving average for Milady. So you can look at it as two different things. Obviously, you guys know how I am. As long as we stay above the 200-day moving average, I'm going to stay bullish, long term, obviously, for that. Short term, if we do break below the 200-day moving average, it is a very bearish move, but at the same time, that's when I'm going to be really looking to jump in and get some solid adding to my position pretty much. So for Milady, you can see she's down about 10% for today. And looking at the crypto bubbles, like I told you guys, majority of the market right now, if you really look at, if we have an average of what altcoins are down right now, majority of them are down around 10%. So Milady's not doing anything that we haven't seen already, right? Milady's not doing anything that's out of the norm for everything, all the other altcoins. So, but there are some plays that we will talk about here soon in the members only stream. So make sure you guys jump on that members only. Now let's see here. A couple things that I did want to check out real quick. So the Fed meeting that we have coming up, and it's technically a month and a half away, but I definitely want to keep bringing this up, guys, because you guys already know. So I told you guys, we're not even going to look at July. We'll pull it up. You can see July, we're calling for a pause, right? This is going to be the FOMC meeting. This is going to be the next one's in 42 days. You can see majority of the market's already calling for a pause. But in September, what have I been telling you guys? I said, if we're going to see a rate cut in the next maybe few months, it's most likely going to be in September. Why? Well, a couple of things. Our numbers, our CPI report, unemployment, jobs, everything has been aligning with what the Feds have been looking for them to start doing even small Fed or rate cut eases, right? As far as reducing interest rates. Well, another thing that's coming up in November that we have is the elections, right? And you better believe that the Feds are going to want, not just the Feds, but the current administration is definitely going to want the markets to be looking as strong as possible going into those elections, right? People's money are tied up, 401k, stuff like that can swing a lot of voters. So I'm still running with the narrative, and I've been saying this for a while now, before these numbers even switched over, that we're going to probably see a Fed ease, a reduction in interest rates, most likely in September. And you can see majority of the market is calling for that in September. So still running with that. I still do believe that we're going to be seeing that for sure. So we'll see how that plays out. Now, excuse me. Why does that picture look like that? So original Trump token struggles with exchange listing as I guess DJT is Donald J. Trump rockets. We're going to pull that up here in a second. Let's see what they're holy crap. They are not lying, dude. Check this out. Look at this project. Oh, I mean, this project's been up for about a day, but look at this. DJT, Donald J. Trump, is up 3,000%. This is on Ethereum's network. You can see market cap is relatively low. Liquidity slightly low for Ethereum, right? But you can see this thing is absolutely ripping right now. Now, let me see. Is this the same 7 hours? Now, you have to be careful. So it looks like I would be very careful if you're jumping in on these political tokens on DeFi. I would be very cautious. Make sure you guys come and check the numbers, because if you saw that project that we just clicked into, that's running ads, is literally claiming they're the same project, but they have like $7,000 in liquidity, right? So I'd be very cautious, and they had just dropped like 7 hours. I didn't even want to give it time to like even look at the project, but you can see for this project, it's been out for about a day. I'd still be very cautious, but the numbers are at least a little bit safer with almost $1 million market cap, $250,000 in liquidity, and it's up 3,500%. I personally would not buy this project at all because it's already pretty much ran, right? And you can see a lot of these projects, they come out, especially these political projects, they come out and they run for like a day or two, and then they pretty much go sideways, and a lot of people sell off, and then they buy in on another political project that's pretty much like, this one's DJT, the next one's going to be Biden, Joe Biden, whatever his initials are, so I would be very cautious as far as buying in on these political projects. If you can get in, at a good time, that's when I say, obviously right when they drop, as long as the numbers check out, that would be a good time to jump in on them. So the article is saying original Trump token struggles with exchange listing as Donald J. Trump rockets. So the exchanges will list Trimp, but not Trump, claiming the latter is too political. Hold on here. Trimp? Are we looking at the wrong freaking project here? Trimp? Okay, let's look at this real quick. So Trimp, I guess this is the project they speak of. It's on Solana, and you can see the market cap is at around 66. Look at that, 66.6. Oof, it's a sign right there. Stay away from it. 66 million, $2 million liquidity. It's up. It's not really up. It's down actually 24%. This thing's been out for about 3 months for this project, but I don't know, guys. I'm not a real big fan of these political projects. I really am not. I feel like they're just a little hype, you know? I mean, like I said, if you can jump in at the perfect time and run them, I mean, and just get your money and get out, not a bad project, you know, or a bad little move there. But buying in when you're already pumping on some of these projects, there's too much competition with these political projects. There's too much competition. Every day, there's probably hundreds of them that are literally coming out that are something affiliated with whatever, you know, candidate, either Trump or Biden, you know. So that's why I'm saying, get in when you can and jump out as soon as possible. As soon as possible. Let's freaking finally read this article, right? So the team behind Trump, the meme coin, not the former U.S. president, have similar complaint as their crypto token's namesake. They say the game is rigged against them. The team, who have no official ties to Donald Trump, the team who have no official ties to Donald Trump told CoinDesk they've had a hard time getting the original Trump theme political Polify token listed on the mainstream digital asset trading platforms. Trump, whose logo features the GOP candidate with laser eyes, primarily trades on a decentralized exchange, the DEX, but is available on lesser-known central exchanges, including MEXC, LBank, BingX, and Bitmart. However, when the team applied in mid-May to list the token on Kraken, one of the oldest and largest U.S. exchanges, they never heard back. Marketing director of Trump token told CoinDesk in a Telegram message a Kraken spokesman had no comment. The exchanges that have refused to list Trump for political reasons are exhibiting embarrassing levels of cowardness that is also incredibly tone deaf to the current meme coin landscape and their own customers. You know what I would imagine is like KuCoin. Is that KuCoin that they were talking about? Oh, Kraken. You know, a lot of these exchanges are probably like, you know what, bro, we don't even want to get into it, right? We don't want to get into this like political war. So they're probably not listing any of these political DeFi projects. One, they know that they might be running right now, but you better believe that after November, which is technically in 5 months from now, less than 5 months, we'll have the election. These projects are most likely going to fade away, right? They're not going to be a long-term project or anything like that. So if you're looking at the longevity of your exchange, why the hell are you going to sit there and go ahead and list some of these projects that are just for short-term gains, you know? And if you're really looking out for your users, that's another thing too, is they're probably going to get wrecked, you know, with a lot of these projects. So I think as far as a business move for something like Kraken, not a bad move as far as just not taking the low-hanging fruit and just basically saying, listen, we don't want to get involved in it. We're going to basically just stay to the side for all this. So let's jump into some DeFi real quick, guys, and then I am going to have to be leaving here soon just because I have a dinner date tonight with my main girl, which is my daughter. So looking at Cronos for today, Artman said they should list NFK and said, bro, listen, just understand that we're still pushing, all right? Right now, like I told you guys, because of the whole market is really not doing well, we've kind of, this isn't an NFK thing. This is a full market. You know, Solana has been getting absolutely decimated right now. So for us particularly, you know, we are still pushing as far as getting onto some more exchanges and stuff like that, but we're taking it slow. We want to honestly just do these things right now instead of us pumping like crazy, like I told you guys for NFK, like we normally do, right? We go running up hundreds, thousands of %, and then we see the same kind of moves happen over and over and over. So what we're doing now is we've kind of backed off and we're like, listen, we need to take everything slow. It is fun to move at a fast pace, obviously, but right now, given with the market, the way the markets are for right now, and I mean, I'm speaking for today. Things can change tomorrow, but the way the markets are for today, currently, we're gonna take everything slow. It's like starting to date somebody. You don't want to start moving off fast, and just you want to take things slow, enjoy it, let people get good positions in these, especially in NFK, right? And let's organically move up and let everything play itself out, right? Let everything play itself out. But you better believe that everything that we already were having lined up, it's all still there. It's basically waiting for when we say go. All right? Let's see here. I'm going to check the chat real quick. So, Owen said, I've been buying these dips. Just hold. If you sell, you lose. Exactly. Khalil said, I'm still up on Milady. If it gets to 7 zeros, then I'll buy more. Troy said, everything is on. Big sale, but NFK is the best buy. Jordan, what's going on? What's going on, brother? Donald, what's going on? Art said, should list NFK instead. I 100% agree with that. Brian, what's going on? Lutz, I already said what's up to you guys. So, yeah, looking at DeFi, guys, you already know that right now, do I even need to explain anything? The markets are struggling right now. You're going to see it in DeFi, right? You're going to see it in DeFi, particularly looking at Cronos. The volume kind of sitting where we were at yesterday, around that under $10 million. So not a lot of volume coming in or out of Cronos DeFi particularly. And a lot of these projects are getting hit. I was amazed to see, I hadn't checked on, and you guys stopped asking me about Mary, and I went to go look earlier and I'm like, holy shit. And yes, this calls for me to curse. Holy shit. Freaking Mary is down like crazy. Last time we looked at it, the freaking market cap was at like $12 million. This thing is broke below $6 million market cap. And I mean, I'm just like, holy crap. Are you guys still invested in this project? I'm personally looking at this project particularly, and I'm like, you know what? I still think that they probably have a good dev team behind them, and they're going to probably be running back up when the markets run. So I'm looking, we broke below the 786. Might be some good times if we continue to move back down to jump in on this project. Dale said, let's see here. Dale said, look at Bitcoin. Where are we going? Let's check it out. Where are we headed? Where are we headed, Dale? Where are we headed? So for right now, I was covering this at the beginning of the stream. For right now, the trend is still heading towards the downside, right? You can see this trend has been running basically since the 7th of this month. So it's been technically not even 2 weeks. It's been about 10, 11 days, right? But you can see that the trend has been our friend, not necessarily, but moving towards the downside, right? But Bitcoin, since the market closed, and you know what, and this, I'm going to explain this all out because we just read that article about outflows for Bitcoin have been a crazy high, right? Yesterday we saw $150 million in ETF outflows for Bitcoin, right? Well, isn't it coincidental that the markets closed at around 4 o'clock, which was technically about 3 hours ago, and Bitcoin is starting to try to revive itself and try to move up because ETF sell-offs have stopped for the day, right? They've stopped for the day. Now you have your retail buyers and sellers that are pretty much trying to do something here. And you can see Bitcoin, since the markets have closed, has technically formed the first green candle that we've seen in the last 24 hours, having us run up to about almost to 65,300. So, and I know what Dale was asking me, where are we going? Well, I technically still think that there's still a little bit more pain in the market. Maybe tomorrow we wake up and I'm completely wrong. Wouldn't that be a good thing, right? But at the same time, I want to prepare you guys, because if we do see more pain, you have to be strong out there, right? If you're on my position, you got to be ready to pounce, because we're ready to jump in at some of these spots. Like I said, I wouldn't be mad, and I know you guys don't want to hear this, but I wouldn't be upset if this market will continue to move down just for a little bit longer, right? At least until my members only stream coming up this Saturday, so I can show you guys these plays that I'm about to be jumping in on. So, but I still do think for now, until we can break above this trend, which the trend technically, if we move it down, the trend, I thought it was raining outside, I was listening. The trend technically would be us moving up towards this, pretty much meeting up at this spot right here that's going to be resistance at 66,400. That tea's pretty good. That tea is pretty good, guys. Myro broke below the 200-day moving average. That's crazy. Fetch AI broke below the 200-day moving average. Look at all these projects. ICP broke below its 200-day moving average. All these big projects have broke below their 200-day moving average. Solana, when you look at those projects and you look at what, now I pull up Solana, you can see Solana's technically, even though it feels like she's been, she's dropped down more than others, she technically is holding pretty strong above her 200-day moving average for right now. Now, if Bitcoin sees any more pain, right, Bitcoin starts dropping back down towards 64,900 or under, you're going to probably start seeing Solana breaking below this 200-day because we've already tested it twice, right? We've already tested it twice. You don't want to keep testing this spot. It's going to eventually break. So, what's going on, Flip? Munch, what's going on? Munch is saying patience. Ricky said perfect time for a reversal. Ricky said buy until you puke. Gina said, how long do you think the markets are going to run like this, in your opinion? Honestly, Gina, that's like the hardest question right now to answer because, like I said, right now we could be so bearish and we can see Bitcoin just start nosediving, right? Bitcoin can start nosediving, and then tomorrow we wake up and it's V-shaped recovery. Bitcoin's knocking on $70,000 door, right? This is the times that we're in right now. There's just like, they're so unpredictable. Obviously, in the last few days, it was easy to kind of predict we're going to see some pain in the market. But where are we going to actually come down to and find that bottom and start bouncing? Have we already done it? That's the question that we're all kind of trying to figure out. And we're not going to be able to really figure it out until it already happens. That's why I tell everybody, not financial advice, but dollar cost averaging in is probably going to be the best bet. Going to be the best bet. And the way I look at it, like I keep telling you guys, is some of these projects that have broke below their 200-day moving average, they're at spots that I sold off, like ICP. ICP, you guys remember I was buying in on ICP when it was down to like way back here. This was my buy box. We can't even see it because it's moved up so much. This was at around $2.90, $3. Buying in like crazy. I sold a little bit before the top, but I sold it around $10. Where are we at now? We're at around $8. I can easily buy right back in and get more of my position that I had before, right? I'm not doing that necessarily yet, and I'm going to explain why. This is going to be what we're going to cover in the members only stream this Saturday. So I don't want to give out all the juice yet, but this is particularly a project that I am looking at to jump back in, guys. So I already spilled the beans on that. But yeah, I agree with Ricky. Right now, perfect time in my opinion to just keep accumulating. So volumes drop down on NFK, but we'll be all right. We'll be good. Seeing some decent buy-ins. We're just sitting in that buy zone right now. Are you taking advantage of it? What's Call doing? Call broke below the $50 million market cap again, which I mean it's to be expected. Look where it's bouncing, right at right above this pivotal spot right here, this 55. It's actually forming a W pattern on here. This is on your 30-minute, forming some kind of a W pattern on Call. So I don't know, long-term bullish on Call, but it's not giving me that that incentive to buy in right now. Let's see here, bro. What happened to Crab? Holy crap! You guys want to talk about freaking? Look at this chart. Look at this chart, Crab. I'm reading. Hold on here. Manny, what's going on? Troy said NFK. Owen said, can you check Neon EVM, bro? What ecosystem is that on, bro? Ricky said calls bouncing right where I bought. Nice. Manny said, why PEPE is still selling at $1,200? PEPE at $1,200? What you talking about, Willis? What are you talking about, PEPE at $1,200? It's on Ethereum. Let me check it out. You said it was Neon? It looks like it's on Solana, bro. Check that out and let me know. It's on. Check it out and see. I think it's because there's no Ethereum popping up. It's only Solana. Yeah, it is on Solana. All right, let's pull it up. This market looks. I mean, this chart looks odd. Like, you see how fine print those sells and buys are? It's been out for 7 months. I mean, a couple of things here we're going to point out. So you can see the trend is obviously pointing towards the downside, right? Massive run up right when it came out, obviously. And then you can see this thing is basically where it's at right now is pretty much retesting the bottom of the fib. So this, where it's at right now, where it pretty much bounces or bounced is where it needs to bounce, and this thing needs to start running up, or it's going to fall down to the abyss for this. Market cap looks great at around 34 million. Liquidity not bad, right under 300,000. Doesn't look terrible, but you can see like this thing has just been slowly but surely bleeding out since it pretty much dropped. So I mean, I don't know what would have me. What is this? Looks a little odd. Hold on here. What is this? EVM? I don't like that chart. It's on Orca. Actually, all on Orca? I don't know, bro. Yeah, it says which enables Ethereum-based applications to access the Solana's scalability and liquidity without changes. So I mean, it's like almost like it bridges Ethereum over to Solana. So I mean, in the fundamentals, it looks like it's legit, but unfortunately for DeFi fundamentals, they just don't run. I've bought in on so many projects for DeFi that have like good fundamentals, and they end up just going down to crap. Right? I'm not saying this is what this project's doing, but you can see obviously clearly it's got a downward trend for the project. So Old, let's see, I'm just gonna call you Old. Said appreciate your research and your live streaming. No problem, bro. Appreciate you being here, man. I appreciate you being here, bro. Brian said, dang, I need to punch back in from my lunch break. Oh, no worries, dude. Watch the rest later. Watch the rest later. And then Ricky said, took a buy on Zinc. Did you buy in on Zinc? Let's pull that up real quick because we were talking about that. They're with their big airdrop they're gonna find a bottom here eventually, right? And you can see from the chart yesterday, you can see they did break down below the level that I marked, right, as some support. They have broken down, but it looks like they're kind of hanging around. So if you were able to catch where this support level was, you'd be up right now, right? So if you bought in anywhere below the 21 cents, you said you bought in at what? Oh, took a buy. You didn't tell me where you bought in, but yeah, I mean, at 19, nice. Good job, buddy. So I mean, you're up for right now. I would say with this project, long term, you're gonna have what did I tell you guys, right? I think for the next week or two, could be longer, but for the next week or two, you're gonna have kind of the sideways action. You might see a little bit more pain, but what it is that you're having a big struggle of all these people that bought in early, or they took advantage of the airdrop, right? So there's going to be there's still going to be big sell pressure, but eventually that will fade, just like with Jupiter. When Jupiter dropped, it did the same thing. If it's a decent project or a good project, it'll eventually catch that bottom, and it'll start moving towards the upside. So this project seems to be legit, as far as their ecosystem and stuff like that. So I mean, it seems like this might be a good pick. I definitely keep my eye on it myself as far as jumping in, especially if this thing breaks anything sub pretty much where it's already pretty much under our support level. I'm going to actually drop this support level. I'm going to bring it over towards this 19.8 now, because it seems like it has found some support around that 19.8 level. You can see it's bounced multiple times. So anything below this 19.8, I'm going to be keeping an eye on, and I might end up jumping in on this project. So also, just a quick question: how much community is in Milady? I bought a large portion about 2 months ago. Dude, you know what, bro? I will tell you, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm very bullish on Milady. I really am. I think it's a long-term play, right? I think it's a long-term play. The community has been growing for Milady like crazy. We've been here for Milady since she pretty much dropped. Over a year ago, I've been making videos on Milady. So very bullish on Milady. I think long term, you have a good play there. I would just take advantage of the dips. Bring your average down if you're down right now. I would bring your average down if you're able to with dry powder, and just basically just let it play out. I do think that Milady, though, long term is going to be a big player in the meme coin space. I really do. What's going on, Jay? Damn, Owen said, buying NFK dips. I'm on 90 billion, almost 100 billion, guys. Take advantage of the dips. That's a bag right there, bro. That's a bag. Like I was saying, I see you guys posting in the Discord. I know you're not flaunting, but I see you guys in the Discord posting your stuff, and I'm like, some of these guys are posting like 500 billion. I'm like, damn. I'm like, holy crap. I love to see how the whale bags have converted over from a lot of these piece of shits that were in at the beginning of the project to now actually the people that deserve to be in the project, right? That deserve to hold big bags, that are holding long term and want to see the growth on the project, right? But I'm telling you, you haven't been tested yet, but you're gonna get tested just like everybody else that was before that had big bags. When we run up, you're going to see these dollar signs, right? And you're going to be like, you're going to be sitting there fighting with your hand, like your hand's going to be wanting to sell. You're like, can't do it. I can't sell. Just like, I mean, I trust me, I understand. It's rough out there, especially when you're up, like a big chunk. You're just like, bro. And you know what? I always tell you guys straight up. Secure your bag, right? Secure your bag. Whenever you're up on any projects, you want to make sure when you're up, do whatever you have to do. If it's just sell half to get your profits back or get your profits, secure your bag on anything. I'm not just saying NFK. I'm talking about for anything. Because when we see dips like we're seeing right now, you can take advantage of these dips, and you're actually in a good mood, and you're like, hell yeah, the market's down. I'm about to get some good positions on a lot of these projects. So that's pretty much where I've been at. So just sitting there like when you bring out a steak and your dog's there and they're just like, that's how I'm looking at these projects. I'm like, bro, I'm ready to jump in on some of these. So, but guys, listen, I know I told you guys it was going to be a short stream. I do have to run. I do have to run, but real quick, remember, I do still think we're going to see a little bit more pain in the market. If Solana comes back down and retests this 200-day moving average, I think she's going to break. It might even be briefly. I'm looking for this 128 right here. If she does break anything around that 128 or below, I'm going crazy. I'm going to start just buying like crazy. But for right now, like I tell you guys, I still do think we're going to see a little bit more pain in the market. So just be cautious. Keep your head up. We're going to be fine. This is not something that we haven't seen in crypto. We'll be fine. You only lose if you sell at a loss, right? So be strong out there. Have a great night. I appreciate you guys. Make sure if you haven't already, hit that like, hit that subscribe, become a member. I'm going to show you guys some of my big plays that I'm going to be having, or I might have already made by this weekend, but I definitely will let you guys know what I got going on and what I'm going to be doing for this dip. But other than that, guys, I thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate you guys. Have a wonderful night, and I will see each and every one of you guys tomorrow. And listen, before you leave, we're going to have tomorrow, we're going to have an earlier stream than we did today, right? We are going to have an earlier stream, so I will let you guys know when we drop. Make sure you guys are subscribed so you can get that alert. All right, guys, have a good night.